So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and scramble this up. I'm not going to get these back in. We'll just go ahead and start scrambling. I'm going to do a non-bandaged scramble first, just because it's fun. Move this around here. Now understand, aside from what I did before about moving the corners out of sync, the type of scramble that I'm doing right now is basically not moving anything out of alignment. These are all still here, no problems. These are the middle layer still where it needs to be. And the corners really have no changes in association with each other. So now what I'm going to do to get a full scramble is I'm going to start taking these guys and moving them out of the proper circle position. So I'm going to move this up and do this turn. As soon as I've done that, I've now done a crazy scramble. So this has now become crazy. But understand, I've also bandaged this over here. So the more I scramble it like that, the more bandaging I'm going to be dealing with. So it can become a little more challenging in terms of the scramble, but I'm going to keep doing it like this. And to get a good scramble, I'm basically finding a full circle, and when I find a full circle, then I can start moving it like this. So here's a full circle over here too, and I'm going to keep doing this until I have what promises to be a fully scrambled, challenging, crazy puzzle to solve. Abracadabra. Okay, there we have it. So what do we think? Nice and scrambled, looks pretty challenging. You can see that the only sides that I can move now are the non-circle sides. Non-circle sides can move. The rest are fairly bandaged. Anytime you have a edge or a corner that's a non-circle corner, it bandages that. So how do I start? How do we even begin to solve this monster? Well, what we need to do, and if you look back at the tutorial on this two-circle face puzzle, is you had to do what I call priming the puzzle. Because ultimately, here's what we're going to do. We're going to eventually take this down to where I'm only going to do 180-degree movements from this circle, this non-circle side to this non-circle side. So I'm going to reduce this pretty much to a cuboid. But the way that I'm going to reduce this can't be with parity. Now the parity is going to occur if I reduce it to a configuration that can't really be resolved with those moves. In other words, if I have centers that are completely in the wrong place. So my first goal is we're going to try to free up as many sides as possible, and then we're going to have to put the center in. Now to put the center in, if I put the center where I've got, say, this is my orange center here, this is the middle layer that we're going to be doing. If this is my orange layer, if I've got this yellow, I'm never going to be able to solve it because this yellow has to be here or here if I'm going to do 180-degree turns. Well, how am I going to do that if 180-degree turns will only land me here to here? So that's what I mean about parity. It's unsolvable in that method. But we already know how to shuttle these back and forth. So here's what I would suggest doing. First thing we need to do in order to free up as much as we can is let's fill in these sides with non-circle sides. It doesn't matter to me right now if it's all green or all blue as long as they're all non-circle sides. So how are we going to do that? Well, to do this, I need to be able to do an R move in addition to a U move, an R or an L. So I'm going to move these corners until I find something that's a pure circle, and that's what we have over here. Now, here's where the trick comes in. We know that using this move over here and this move over here, we can shuttle our centers around, we can shuttle our edges around, and we can do that with simple 3 cycles. We can also shuttle our corners around, but that's going to be a 5 cycle. So my suggestion is, in addition to having a circle center here, make sure you've got this freed up so I can do my R to U, RI, I can do any of that stuff. But my suggestion is this: let's go ahead as much as we can, put our edges in. And we know that we can do that by doing the cycling by putting this to here, and this to here. So that's R to U. And I can even stop there. Why even move forward because I have this over here. I can come to this side and see if I can do the same thing. I've got a bunch of edges that have to come in. This can move. Now, I'm going to run into trouble here because when I do a 2U here, I'm going to end up bandaged over there. So this will be fine here. This is non-bandaged, this is non-bandaged. So let's take this, move these up here. R to U, RI to U, that's 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4. All right, so basically I'm putting them in as much as I can. This can come over to here. 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5, 5. So now we have these. I've got one more right over here. So it doesn't matter where I put it. It could, well, this is already filled in over here, so you can put it over to here. So this will come here, this will come here, and this will come here. But this is in the way, so I may find myself kind of blocked. So we're in a situation where these corners are basically blocking us. So I think we can stop here with trying to get these up and start working on the corners. Now here's what I would suggest. I don't suggest trying to memorize all the different configurations of corners and what you have to do to bring them up there. There's no sense in doing that, and the reason for that is as long as you keep doing that commutator and doing it over and over again, pretty soon the puzzle is going to have itself in a configuration that you can deal with. There's only a limited number of conformations that this puzzle is going to have. We owe this to the bandaging that happens. You don't have as many complexities of motion. So you can either memorize all the different situations and all the different commutators in all the different situations. But why do that when if you just start doing the R to U, RI to U enough times, you're eventually going to get it into a conformation that's going to make sense. So here's what I mean by that. I'm just going to take this. You can see these over here. I'm just going to move these up there by doing the R to U, RI to U. I don't know what's going to happen at the end, but I'm going to look at it, and if I get a situation where I have all the corners up there, then I'm done. So let's go ahead and do it once and see what happens. R to U, RI to U. Keep going, that's number 1. Do it again. R to U, RI to U. That's 2. Do it again. R to U, RI to U. And that's 3. So we've got these here, and we'll do it again. R to U, RI to U. That's 1. R to U, RI to U. That's 2. R to U, and then I stop. I don't even finish it. Why? Because I've got all 4 in here. So I moved the maximum number up there. And I didn't know when that was going to happen, how that was going to happen, but eventually that was going to happen. So now that I have that, I want to get these freed up too. So without memorizing anything at all, what I'm going to do is just do the same thing. Just go LI to U, L to U. Keep going. LI to U and stop. Why? Because I've got 4 in here. Now, although it looked like I was pretty focused on what I had to do, although it looked like I kind of knew what I was doing, I really didn't. I come up over here and you see this is here and this is here. We destroy these, but we only have 2 left. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and keep doing that again. So let's try to move these up. R to U, RI to U. And again, R to U, RI to U, and we stop. Why? Because these are in and these are in. So all of our corners are in, and I'm just dealing with edges. Now, go ahead and with your puzzle, just keep doing that. It's truly that simple. I haven't memorized any specific conformations. I haven't memorized any specifics on what to do if this edge were here, if we had a non-circle edge here and here, or here and here, or here and here. Didn't have to do that because I know eventually it's going to get into a conformation that would be okay. And it's easy, it's fast enough to do that. Now all I have to do is take this and start putting these up here. So I'm going to take this will come here, this will come here, and this will come here, and I don't have any corners here to bother with. All right, so I'll take this to here, this to here, and this to here. 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5, 5. As long as I do that, I'm not going to mess these up. And I'm going to continue to get these in. So I'll go ahead and put this one here. Now what we can do is, because we're coordinating these, why don't we go the next step immediately and start putting these in where they're supposed to be. So this will come over to here, and see this white? Let's take this white center and coordinate it so that's over here. This red one can never be solved, so eventually I'm going to have to move that out and put that put that here. The rule of thumb is when you find a piece like an inner edge, put that either at the center that's the same color, or the center that's 180 degrees. Because as long as it's within 180 degrees, I can do those kind of algorithms to place that in. The problem is that if I try to do that, notice this is blocking me here. So I'm just going to take this, I'm going to move it to the opposite side. This will come here, this will come here, this will come here. 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5, 5. No worries. There it is. There that is over here too. Okay, I've got this over here. What I'll do is I'll take this yellow one, and I want to move this into over here if I can. Looks like I'm not going to be able to do it quite that way. So I'm just going to take this, move this to here, move this to here, move this to here. 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5, 5. Okay, now that I've done that, I've now freed up all the circles here. Now it's a question of continuing the process of the proper reduction. Why don't we put all the green edges where they're supposed to be here? That's going to be fairly easy. Just position and turn up. So I've got a green cross here, and I've got the blue cross here. What I'm now going to do is I'm going to take these, move them out of the wrong place, and put them in the right center. So I'm going to take this yellow, I got to lift it up to here, and then move it down to here. Li to U, L to U, that's 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5, 5. Okay? Now I'd like to put this over to here. This is going to be in the way. So because of that, why don't I take this and just promptly move it out of the way, just like that. So this is out of the way, this will come here, this will come here, this will come here, and that's fine because I need to move this out anyway. This is not in the proper color or within 180 degrees of the proper color. So now this will come up to here, and I'll move this down here. We're good over here. Now this guy can now exchange with this. This will come here, this will come here, and this will come here. So I'm getting all of my middle edges where they're supposed to be. So again, we're reducing all the middle edges over here. These edges don't have to be reduced. They're automatically going to go where they're supposed to be because they were never taken out. So you can see that this is all wrong. This we're going to keep here for now. This, as a matter of fact, if you don't like this and this being in the wrong place, I can just move it around from here. So bring the blue to here, green to here, which will place these as well. Bang. No worries. So now let's move this one up and bring it to the proper place. Now that we've done that, let's put it here, which will lift this red one out. I'm wreaking havoc with my stickers, unfortunately. Okay, so now that's in. Now we just have to put this in. This will come here, this will come here, and this will come here. Okay, so what we have is these inner edges are where they need to be. I can move this in. So we've got our inner cross over here, and now we move on to the next step. Once we've done this, what we want to do now is I want to reduce the entire middle layer. We've got these reduced over here. Now we've got to reduce these guys, and how are we going to do that? Well, the way that I know that these are where they need to be is, once again, the outer edge needs to either be with the same color or within 180 degrees of the right color. So this is correct. This is also correct. This is okay too. I can work with this. What I can't have is a situation like this, because this red one here is not within 180 degrees of where it needs to be, nor is this, which means that this will never be reduced doing 180 degree turns. This one can be. Because what I could do easily is, let's say I move this yellow here, this can come over here, bang, we got it, then I can move it back, and I'm just doing some fancy footwork with that to reduce this and, you know, put this in the proper center. But I can never get this back. No matter what I do, this is never going to be in a situation that I can reduce it to the proper inner edge. So what I need to do is these guys need to flip, and how am I going to do that? Well, this needs to flip, and there's usually another one. This is properly placed, so to speak, because this orange is within 180 degrees of where it needs to be. But this also needs to be flipped. So if I were to bring these two here, don't worry about these for now, we can see that these two need to be flipped or swapped or something. So how are we going to do that? Well, what we're going to have to do is, obviously, this isn't going to be good the way that it is here. So let's take this whole thing and we got to take this and move it up to over here so that we can do the proper correct placement of where this is supposed to be. So let's take this, move this to here, and this to here. 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5, 5. Okay, so how are we going to deal with this? Well, let's keep it far away from this because this is going to be Bandage City. But let's kind of plan out what we're going to want to do here. We're going to take this and we're going to put this in a position where we can move this into here and then cycle it down. So what I'm going to do is take this, and you can see if I move this over here, it's going to be across from the wrong place. So I need to turn this whole thing around, and it would behoove me if I take this and I move this down like this. So I'm going to move this to here, and this will come down to here so that this white one will be just down just across from a yellow. So it's going to be 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5, and 5. Okay, so I'll swing this back around here. Okay, so now this can come to join this guy over here. So I'm going to go 1, 2. Okay, this is now properly placed. With this being properly placed, we don't particularly like the fact that we have this in the wrong area over here. Okay, now what I'm going to do is take this and just move it over to here. So these guys are in place. Now that I have this in place, my next step is what I want to actually do is take this, move this to here, this will come here, and this will come here. The reason that I want to do that is all I want to do is make it to where this edge can line with this, and this outer edge can line up with this. So that will be my final thing. So this will come down to here. 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5, and 5. And having done that, I'll just go like 1, 2, and that will put these guys in line over here. Okay, now having done that, the next thing that I'm going to do is now that I have these two lined up over here, I'm going to take this and move this en masse up here. This guy is going to come down here, which is good because I'll have red where it's supposed to be, and this white is where it's supposed to be over here. So let's now take this and move this up here. 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5, 5. All right, so now we see that all these are in. This is good. This is good. This is good. We just have this one to go. So what I want to do is move this center appropriately, move the center right. And it would be nice if I can move this down to here. This white will come down to here. This is where it needs to be. This red will join this yellow over here. So one final time. 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5, and 5. Okay, having done that, now these are properly oriented and we've taken it out of any type of parity. So really what it came down to is when you had ones that had to be flipped, just put them up here and just start lining them up where they're supposed to be. Once we've done that, now it's a question of just positioning and repositioning. I've got something like this. I'm going to take this, move it over to here. Might as well line it up with this green and blue and just go like boom. So this is good over here. Bring this over like so and go bang. So this is lined up, this is here, this is here. So at least I have one solid center edge to outer edge. Once I have that in, then it's really just a matter of, shuffling things around. This is not where it needs to be, and I can't move it 180 degrees because I can't move this around over here. So once I have that, now it's just a matter of lifting things up and putting them where they're supposed to be. So I don't like this over here, so I'm going to take this, lift it up over here. So this will come here, this will come here, and this will come here. Again, my overall effect is this orange is opposite another orange, so I'm never going to be able to get it in. So I actually have to physically move it up here and then move it down to here. Okay. So now we can take a look at what we've got. This is a green, this is a blue. They belong opposite, so do these two. So we'll just place it over there. So now what we can do, now that we have these in, we can start to do a little bit of fancy footwork. I've got a white here. I can move this over here, move this over here, and move this over here. Okay? Move this back. So I just did some turning, doing 2 R's. No specific algorithm, I was just trying to position. But what we have now is we have our center middle area over here. What we can do is we can move this in like so. So we've got all of our edges here. And this is really what we wanted. Now we've taken the parity out of here, so now I can solve this pretty much like what I would call a domino. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and start putting in one side. We'll put in the green side over here. Here's the green, yellow, and red. The algorithm to do that is let's find the corner where that's supposed to be. This is red, this is yellow, so this belongs over here. Set it right above where it's supposed to be, then do 2R, U, 2R, UI, 2R. This will place this where it's supposed to be between these two. Now every time you do that, you're going to create misplacement of these two edges, but that's okay. I'm just going to keep pulling this with this on the right. This corner with the white and yellow goes right over here. 2R, U, 2R, UI, 2R. This is where it needs to be. This has been replaced. Now where does this go? Well, let's put this by the red and white over here. 2R, U, 2R, UI, 2R. Okay, you've got misplacement over here. All of these are placed. Don't worry about the outer edges yet. You see this is wrong, but we won't worry about this now because we're going to be doing edge swaps. Edge swaps will get this back. So let's turn this over here. I'm going to keep the placement issues, if there is any placement issues, to my right, and let's take a look at what we've got. In this case, our edges are in. You can see all of our corners are in. What we need to do is we need to start applying the same rules to these edges. The outer edges have to match the inner edges, and what I'm really looking for to start off with is that this is either by the proper color or within 180 degrees. This red one is. This one is fine. This one is not fine because this white is not within 180 degrees of being white, which means it has to be here or here. So these two have to be swapped. This orange wants to come here by the red, this white wants to come here by the white over here, and that way I can deal with this situation over here. To the situation where I've got the orange, which is by the red, and then this red by the orange, as long as it's 180 degrees from where it needs to be. So I'm going to do a simple adjacent edge swap to get these. Now adjacent edge swaps are not going to swap these two, it's just going to swap these two. It'll also bring this back. So that's going to be 2RU, 2RU, 2R, 2U, 2R, 2U, 2RU, 2RUI, 2R. And as promised, this is good. This is good too, believe it or not, because it's within 180 degrees. This is good, and this is good. So what we want to do, and there's a variety of different configurations that you might get. This is actually kind of the more simplest of those, but when you have a situation where you've got two outer edges that need to be flip-flopped, we can do an adjacent edge swap, but it's not what you think. I don't want to do an adjacent edge swap here because that will swap these inner edges like so. If I put it over here, an adjacent edge swap over here will swap these two, which is kind of what we want. All of this red will end up here, all this orange will end up here, but it's also going to swap these outer edges to the right and to the left. So these two are going to swap. So unlike a normal 3x3, doing an adjacent edge swap will just swap these two, but doing it on the circle will swap these two, but also these two. And that's exactly what we want, so we can get it back. So we'll go 2R, 2U, 2R, 2U, 2R, 2U. And like magic, all that's in. So that's the simplest of situations that can happen with this. We've got placement issue here, but I think we're going to fix that when we start working on the last layer. So let's take a look at what we've got. What you want to do first is you want to put all the corners in. See which two corners are already solved. You can see that these yellow ones are here. Don't worry about these edges right now. But take 2 where the corners are solved and put it to the left. And now do an adjacent corner swap. The adjacent corner swap will put all the corners in, and then we have to see what's going on with the centers. So that's going to be with this to the left, 2R, U, 2R, UI, 2R. Then we do a UI, D, 2R, UI, 2R, U, 2R, and then move this back over here. So you can see corners are in, corners are in, corners are in. Now after we've done that, we now have to put the edges in. Well, so too over here, which ones are put in right? This one is, this one is, this one is not, and this one is not. So you can see a clean adjacent edge swap in order to put these in and bring these back in over here. 2R, U, 2R, U, 2R, to U, 2R, to U, 2R, U, 2R, UI, 2R. Okay, with this scene, what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to do an adjacent edge swap, which will swap these two. Now, unfortunately, it's also going to swap these two, but let's see what happens. 2R, to U, 2R, to U, 2R, to U. As predicted, these guys got swapped. These outer edges got swapped. Now I've got these two to deal with. Let's move this by the side. And now this is the simplest of situations because now these two, both the outer and inners, are going to be swapped, and these two are going to be swapped. 2R, to U, 2R, to U, 2R, to U. And in so doing, you found that you have your 3x3 version solved. This was the simplest of possibilities. But there's another possibility where it gets much more complicated. This one happened to not have any parity, but what if it doesn't happen quite so simply with us? What if it happens like this?